I'm here with Mark Nelson of Rio Grande, and we're going to be talking about dapping, which may be a term that many people don't know what that is. What is it?
Right, dapping really is just a method used to give flat sheet a form. And dapping comes from the tools that are used are called dap punches and a dap block. Basically a positive form and a negative form. And there's different materials used for these tools. There's wood ones and metal ones. And they each have their pluses and their minuses.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do is actually just show you how to go up to a half sphere.
Okay.
With these
And I love that we have both the wood and the metal here as well.
One of the advantages to the metal one is that they last a lot longer and they go faster.
Now, what are you using? What is the disc made out of? Is it just copper?
This is copper. It's been annealed.
Okay.
Because I'm going so far in the shape to a half sphere, you need to start with dead soft metal.
And what is annealed?
Annealed means it's dead soft. It has no, it's not hard at all.
Okay.
It's completely malleable.
Pliable.
Pliable.
Yeah, malleable.
Okay. And basically what I'm doing is I'm going to start with the largest hole size
Okay.
in my block here. And what I want to do is I want to pick a punch that is actually smaller. See, that one is the same size. So what I'm going to end up doing there is pinching my metal. So I want to go to a smaller
We don't want
size.
to pinch our metal.
Right.
Want to go a little bit smaller.
This one's a little bit smaller.
So that it has area to form around it.
Right, exactly. And I'm going to take my hammer, and this hammer is really great because it's called a dead blow hammer, and it's packed with sand or steel shot. So there's no vibration. And you're going to start by really hammering into it. And you can see that it's starting to take on a dome. But right now, it's just more like a cone.
Okay.
So you want to make it nice and smooth. You got to move that around. And you keep moving around until it's even all the way around. And you can see where the dap punch is actually striking the metal. Okay. So once you get to that point, you want to take it down some more.
Okay.
And just find your hole size. It's a little bit smaller. This one right here. And see how much smaller that is?
Yes.
And you definitely have to get a smaller punch.
So it's nice that you have a set of them, so you have all
Right,
sizes
you have to have a
represented.
set. If you want to go through the whole process.
You need to start out with the right tools.
Right. Now, if I was to do this with the wood, it'd take a lot longer. But if I had a texture on it, I'd be damaging the texture.
Okay.
So that's when you would want to go to the wood.
So that's the difference between when you use wood versus when you use the metal.
Right.
Has a lot to do with the texture and what you're working with.
Exactly. Now let's say if I just wanted a really soft kind of form, you know, I can go here to the wood one. This is really big. Okay. And do the same thing. It's the same process.
Using the same type of hammer.
Right. But you definitely want to alternate and get it nice and smooth. And see how quick that was? Now you got now you have form to a flat sheet.
Exactly. So it's flat, but it's not as, it has a little bit of a roundness to it.
Exactly,
curve
dimensionality to it.
As opposed to the full dome. Now what about different shapes? Does it have to always be circles?
Doesn't always have to be circles, but one of the thing is if you put like a teardrop shape in this form, you're going to end up with a kind of a saucer shape.
Okay.
It's not going to conform to the shape. So what you want to do in this case is use the same punches, but something like a leather bag.
Oh, that's a cool
And
instrument there.
get a small punch, and you just go in and you work it. And you can see that it's already starting to take on a shape. And the more you do, the more you can refine that shape.
So anything pretty much outside of a circular position, you would probably use.
You can also do this on wood. See, it's already starting to take on a shape.
Yeah.
A nice
So
thing about wood.
that would be more like a martelato or hammered.
Exactly.
effect
You
on
see that
okay.
nice cool texture that's starting to pop out now.
Very cool texture. And of course you have hearts and everything here too.
Right. You can do hearts, any kind of shape.
So do some more.
Oh, okay.
This is fun.
This is, I like doing it on wood for irregular shapes because the wood is just soft enough to give it a form, but it's hard enough that you're going to get some texture on it as well.
Is it going to harm the wood?
It will.
It is?
Yeah.
I like that you were like, yeah.
Yeah. It's an expendable tool.
Now, can you do curvature on that, or is it just mainly a hammered effect? Can you do any kind of doming on that, on anything that's not this circular?
Yes. This will actually be a dome eventually.
Okay, because it'll smooth out.
Right.
It'll all smooth
exactly.
out. It's just that you have to work it a lot more
Right.
than you would some of the other pizzas. So, interesting.
Yeah.
Love that. So you have different types. You have the wood, you have the metal, and then also you have a softer surface,
softer
a leather
surface, or
that you can do it.
Uh-huh.
That'll be perfect. Well, let's take a look at some of the pieces that you brought with you. I'm in love with this pendant. What was the technique you used with that one?
Well, there again, I just took when all my cutting was done, I took it to a piece of block of wood and a dap punch and started hammering from the back to give it that slight dome shape, give it some form.
I'm actually going to turn it around for a second because this way you can see the shape of it, the inside of it.
And you can see all the hammer
formed.
blows, too.
Yeah, you can see all the hammer marks there, just like that. Perfect. And then, of course, we also have some earrings that you brought with you as well.
Right, the earrings there, the first pair of the washer, the disc was dapped, and then on the second pair, the washer was dapped.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mark.
You're welcome.